Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I'm the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop and the Lost Pages, launching soon on Indiegogo, and just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we are joined by a friend of mine, Dan Fraga, the man behind Flag,
Yeah,
legendary comic artist. What is up, brother?
I'm just chilling, man. Today's been a magnificent day of streaming.
Yeah,
Did
busy
some
one for
draw
you.
streams, some talking streams. Hung out with Red Valkyrie. Had a really good time on her show.
Yeah,
Came and did a little bit on mine. Bounced over to Vinny, and now I'm hanging out with my favorite dude,
yeah, brother.
Zaid Comics. Man, how you doing? You doing
Good,
well?
man. Yeah, we had a little bit of work to do today,
It's
setting
good,
up
man.
the launch page for the Lost Pages.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, things are rolling along, and
Yeah.
was excited to get you on, man. It's only been not even a week since your campaign is up,
That's
and
nuts.
yeah, I haven't checked in the last few hours, but you're past 80K.
Yeah, that's bananas. Let me take a look. I gotta type it into my phone
Yeah, I can
here.
pull it up right here. Let's see.
Magic draw comic. That's in history right there. Let's take a look. Oh, you got to pull it up. There we go.
Yeah.
82. We are 20 backers away from the pork extravaganza.
Oh my.
Bacon is great. Bacon is great. Prove me wrong. What up, Death Metal Hero? What up? I know Rooster's like jumping all over.
You
Pale
get
Rider.
onto it. Can I come on the?
When we do
Yeah,
the
what's
bacon extravaganza, of course, of course.
I'm
and
gonna
Michael
be.
Green in the chat.
Michael Green, hail
Justin
Michael Green,
McClure. Pale Rider,
K
what's up,
Money.
guys? Death Metal Hero, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so if you guys haven't seen one of these streams before, I usually do one a week with a creator talking about their new book and how they got into comics and just a
Yeah,
highlight of the creator and stuff like that.
it's been a
So
crazy journey, man. Tell you that
yeah,
much.
man, that's why I definitely wanted you on, and thank you again for coming
Of
on.
course.
So while you talk a little bit about your your beginning in comics
Mm.
and kind of quickly getting up to this point with this awesome campaign, I'm gonna put this little image. I think this is a photograph of you from the '90s.
Let's
I
do
wanted to
it.
throw this up there.
Yeah,
If you,
that is a very like the film roll that they used was the most accurate type.
yeah,
It was
right.
called Kodiak. It was made
Mhm.
from Kodak, but it was Kodiak, and you had to wax the surface,
Yeah,
wax the Kodiak to get the reveal. But yeah, that's me. That's me. That's a very accurate representation of me.
looking like a badass.
Thug
Yeah,
life.
for sure,
Thug
man.
life. Yep. Six pack stupor. Michael Green knows.
Yeah,
He
are
knows.
we gonna get insider question? Are we gonna get an appearance, a six pack stupor anywhere in the future Black Flag issues?
uh, everything is possible.
That's what I like to hear, brother.
Everything is
Uh,
possible.
So how did you get into this crazy world of comics, man?
I was bit by the comic book bug when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed like copying covers of GI Joe. Mike Zeck did these really great covers in GI Joe that I would copy, and I used to buy comics at the Quick Mart, which is like a 7-Eleven or like a gas station,
Yeah,
and I found this comic Marvel Universe #5, and it's like an encyclopedia, right? And it happened to have the Hulk and a bunch of other people. And I asked the clerk at the Quick Mart, "Hey, where's this comic?" And he said, "Were you kidding me? We don't have that." I said, "Well, don't you have them in the back?" Like I'm 12. I think everything's in the back. Like everything must be in the
yeah.
back.
Hmm.
And he said, "No, when the comics are done, another truck comes and picks up the old ones and gives us new ones, and that's how it works." And thank God for this guy. In my mind, I remember him in a trench coat, and I can never see his face, but I'm sure that's not what he looked like. He said, "You need to go to the comic book store and get back issues."
Yeah,
And I did not. That was the first time I ever heard the word comic book store, and
yeah.
it's the first time I ever heard the word back issue.
Back issues.
And I said, "What are you talking about? Where is this?" And he told me. I immediately got grabbed my change, got on the bus, took the bus down to this place called Land of Never Was, and I couldn't believe it. it was like all of my dreams come true. Comic books on the wall, comic books on the rack, comic books in bins, graphic novels. I didn't even know what a graphic novel was. They
Right.
had little D&D, little miniature pewter figures. And it was like the most fantastic thing I'd ever encountered. And one of the very first books I ever bought was Hail Gable. One of the first books I ever bought was Cloak and Dagger. It was a Cloak and Dagger miniseries. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with them. And then I also bought The Dark Knight #2. It was when I saw the cover of Dark Knight #2 that I insisted in my brain that I needed to become a comic book artist. And it was mostly because of the sense of authorship that Frank Miller had. He took what I call pajama Batman, the Batman you always see on like, pajamas or cups or glasses or, shampoo bottles.
Yeah.
And he did some shit to it. His knuckles are busted up. He's shredded. He's got a fat lip. And I thought, this is what I need to be doing. So then I went to a con. That's the one. Man, you're fast. You are so fast. Yeah, that image it was literally the go get comics Fraga button. This image. One day I'd like to own this. It'll be the death of me. But that is my favorite image from Frank Miller, at least. Well, I like the one where they're jumping and there's some other stuff, but this really just said go. So then my buddy Mike Gomez told me about this thing called the Comic Convention. It was WonderCon in Oakland, California. This was 1988. It was their second one. Their first one was in '87. Stan Lee was there, and I brought my book to get Stan Lee to sign it. And as I'm waiting in line, I meet Eric Larson, this comic book artist, Savage Dragon, good guy, nice guy. Not the nicest guy, but nice enough. Yeah, and I started rapping with him because he was working on some Hulk. And I started rapping with him, and I wanted to ask him about comics. And I told him I was going to give Stan Lee this drawing I had done. And he asked me, he took a look at it, asked me what I did. And I told him, I'm a kid, I'm a student. He asked me if I had a job. I said, I work at a pizza place. He said, and I quote, I hope you're good at making pizzas because you're never going to be a comic book artist. And that was
rude.
Yeah, even my 8-year-old says that was rude. But for me, it was probably the best thing anybody had ever done to me because on my personality type is the one, not the kind that, like, when you say you can't, I'm not a defiant person in the, like, if your mom says you can't have a cookie, I don't go, I will have a cookie, but if she said you could never dunk, I would go, what, Mom? And I would make it my goal to dunk. Like, I would literally just make it my goal. So Eric Larson did the best thing he could. Less than about 6 months later, and this is deep cuts. I don't talk about this with nobody, nobody. My first printed work, like if you want to say professional, my very first printed work was in January of 1989 in the newspaper called Martinez News Gazette. And I did a daily strip in the cartoon section called The Adventurer. And this, I'm telling you, I don't tell anybody this story.
I haven't heard it.
I did The Adventurer for about 6 months, where every day I would have these adventures of The Adventurer. And I had my first comic strip put in the newspaper. I also did a version that I would sell at high school. And eventually in 10th grade, I was part of this AV program where we had to do, every week we had to be part of this live television show. And I came up with this idea called Comic Review for You. It's very much what we're doing on YouTube. We talk about comics, talk about comic art. I do a little drawing lesson that every now and then we would do some pre-recorded stuff. Like I would go to a Comic Con and then come back, show the footage and talk about it. Well, I did one review in November of 1989 called How to Get a Portfolio Review. So I drew up some samples and I brought them to this convention called the Pelicon in November of '89, where none other than Eric Larson was going to be. And it was him I intended to have review my portfolio because I wanted him to, see that kid that couldn't draw was getting better. But his next door neighbor, his convention neighbor was this guy, Rob Liefeld. And Rob was a guy who I'd heard of. He had done Hawk and Dove. And at the time of meeting him, he had just done a New Mutants annual, a Spider-Man annual, as well as a What If #7. It was What If Wolverine was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He wasn't the Rob Liefeld that created Cable yet. He hadn't even created, well, he must have, because, but the world didn't know about it yet. So he did my portfolio review. I filmed it. My buddy Mike Gomez, who, by the way, my character Rascal is named after. Rascal backwards, his name is Likum Zimog. Backwards is Michael Gomez, like my best friend in junior high, all through high school. Still my homie. He bought a sketch off of Rob. He still has it today. It's Rob's design sketch of Strife, the character Strife. My buddy owns the original drawing of Strife.
Wow.
But it was drawn on the back of Rob's stationery. And on it had Rob's address, phone number, fax number, full docs, bro. And I decided I was going to call him, thank him for reviewing my portfolio, and requested that I continue to show him work as I got it done. He, to his chagrin, agreed, and I started faxing him over and over and over and over for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in San Diego Comic-Con. He gave me a few whisperings of what would eventually become Image Comics. At the time, it was just Rob, Eric, and Todd.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got hired in December of 1991 to join Extreme Studios, which then, bursted into Image Comics. So I was there at Image Comics from day zero. And that's my break.
That's crazy, man. It's a wild ride. I think that a lot of that, your attitude just to keep going, your attitude to push against people naysaying you is a lot of what got you where you are. And I think that's awesome. And after that, you go on to do comics, and then you leave to do a bunch of other stuff too. You're a storyboard artist. You've directed stuff as well, which is insane.
One of my favorite stories out there. I'm a big fan of what I call excellence. I mean, we all know what excellence is, but true excellence are guys like Bruce Lee. There's a guy named Quincy Jones. He's a producer, and there's this really fantastic documentary called The Many Lives of Q.
Mm-hmm.
And the Many Lives of Q go through Quincy Jones' career. And what I saw is each decade brought him something different. So he started in the 50s as a band leader, stepped into the 60s doing big band stuff. Like he was part of a bop band. Then he was doing big band. In the 70s, he started doing soundtracks. And in the late 70s, he started doing stuff with Michael Jackson.
Motown stuff, right?
Yeah, no, that was Berry Gordy. And then he started doing stuff in the 90s, really bringing back jazz. And what I noticed is that each year he kind of like transitioned and transformed into something different, which I feel like my career did the same. I started off as a comic book artist. While I worked in comics, I wore a lot of hats. I did writing, I did penciling, inking, production, I did lettering, I did all kinds of pre-press. Before I worked in comics, I worked in retail. I worked for Diamond for a while as a warehouse kid. So I got a lot of experience doing that stuff. And when I broke into storyboarding, one of the things I really wanted to do was direct. And I'm I'm pretty fearless. There's only been a couple times I've been afraid to talk to somebody. Mobius was one of the guys I was afraid to talk to and wish I did. And Frank Frazetta was the other guy.
Yeah.
Those were the only two guys I ever went, no. Like I didn't want to fuck it up. I wish I had. One of the things I would do is just be straight up about things. So I would say to my director as we're working on boards, I'd say, hey man, I thank you for first let me tell you how storyboards usually go. A director hires you, communicates what they want, you draw the pictures, you turn them in, you dust your hands, you do the next job, you dust your hands, you do the next job. That's how it goes. I would say as I'm working on the job, this is really cool. I'm learning a lot. I'd like to learn more. When it comes time to shoot this, may I come to set? And not every single time, I'm talking 100% of the time, the directors were like, yeah, totally, man. Come on through. So I would go to sets and I would talk to everyone. I would talk to the hairdressers. I'd talk to wardrobe. I'd talk to stunts. I'd talk to camera, lighting, everyone. So I can learn everything I could about how to direct. So then I eventually met some directors that I worked with that saw that I had knowledge and communication skills, that they asked me to come along and do second unit directing. So I did a lot of work with stunts, explosions. Also, I mean, the boring stuff. Like here's a funny story. It's on YouTube. I should pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on one of my shows, but I have to stop and start it because I don't want to get struck. But
Yeah.
the very first commercial I ever did directing on was a ESPN a NASCAR Fox Sports job for Capture the Flag, and it was the Dale Earnhardt part of the spot. And in the spot, it's like this post-apocalyptic thing where they're all trying to capture the flag at the top of this junkyard heap, and Dale Earnhardt's going, and this stack of motorhomes falls on him, and his helmet rolls out of the stack and lands.
Yeah.
Well, my friend Joseph Kahn, Grammy Award winning, MTV Music Award winning, fantastic director, does a lot of Taylor Swift, a lot of really Eminem. Like this guy is badass. He likes to punish people as he brings them up in a good way, but he tempers people by fire. So the very first shot I ever had to do was that helmet shot. Anybody that's ever shot anything live action will know this. I was given one PA, a cameraman, and a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And I had to hook up this shot. Hooking up is when one shot goes into another. The shot previous was these mobile homes falling and making a dust cloud. So the next shot is a helmet rolling out. Well, my brain goes, I need dust, I need debris, I need to make sure that when the helmet rolls out, it rolls out visor facing so the sun glints off it and it looks beautiful. And how do I convey all of this with three people, me, a camera person, and a PA? So I'm having to hold a bumper, a handful of dirt, and in my hand with the bumper, I've got the helmet.
Yeah.
So we would count 1, 2, 3. I'd shake the dirt, and you'd see the bumper, and then I'd grab the helmet and roll it so it would roll out. It took us 31 takes to get this. I know I'm sidebarring, but it took us 31 takes to get this helmet to roll on
Yeah.
mark, visor out, and they were like the ADs, which are the guys who keep schedule. Joe told them to do this. Where's my shot, Fraga? Where's my shot? They were doing "Where's my shot" the entire time to really just roast me. So there was that experience. I also storyboarded a movie called ATL, where I had to do double duty storyboards and on-camera artwork. And what that led to was this pilot where they needed the same duty, but they needed some animation done. I did that animation. That animation led to the show getting picked up, not because of my animation, but the show got picked up. We did 25 episodes. I directed all the animation for each episode. And while I was doing that, the production company I was working with needed a director for a show called The Ricky Gervais Show, which was on HBO.
Yeah.
I auditioned for that, got the gig, did 26 episodes with a wonderful crew, best crew in animation as far as I'm concerned. I had guys like Sean Tashikian working with me, Steven Saurin, Anna, really just a great crew. Marge Dean, my friend that was the general, she oversaw all the production there. She went over to Mattel, and when Mattel was looking for other talented directors that could work in several styles, they kind of headhunted me, brought me over to Mattel. I worked with them for almost 6 years, working on Monster High, Ever After High. So I got to really learn a lot. And one of the most wonderful aspects of it, other than learning the directing, as I've told you, I'm a very inquisitive mind. I learned how to take something that doesn't exist and make it something that exists in a big way. So we would have, like, for example, there's something that exists out there, and Lily Bow will hear this. There's something out there called Enchantimals.
Yeah.
And see, she's excited. Enchantimals never existed. I got to help in sort of shaping and creating that project. I got to shepherd some of the animation and help create a lot of the stuff that got it out into the real world. And that what that did is help teach me when I got to do my stuff how to shepherd my stuff into the world. And the result of that is Black Flag Pineapple Perception.
So when you get Black Flag, you'll be getting this, right?
Yes, that's the enchant. Man, you're faster than fast, bro. But yeah, I helped develop that over at Mattel. Yeah, there you go.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Super cute. Look at Belle. Look what's on screen. She loves Enchantimals.
Awesome.
I also wrote the theme song to Polly Pocket. There's
Really?
Yeah. She didn't know. I wrote a lot of that's one of the things about my job. We did a musical at Monster High called Boo York, Monster High musical.
Yeah.
And I wrote there was a rapping character. I wrote all of his raps. I helped write a bunch of the breakup song. I wrote a few other songs, but I got to wear, like I said,
my favorite Monster High movie.
she loves Monster High.
Yeah.
But I got to wear a lot of different hats.
Man of many talents, Dan Fraga.
Yes,
We got a passion for drawing in the chat. Hail, brother.
Passion. What up, homie?
Jetsabel.
Hello again, Jetsabel. How are you?
Yeah. Yeah. So Black Flag, it all leads you back to doing your dream book. This is all your passion is in this book for sure, and everybody could tell. And I think that's what Comics Gate is all about: doing your own thing, having the freedom to put out what you've always wanted to. And this is the new campaign that you just launched Saturday, and you're already past $80,000, which is insanity, man.
That's straight up bananas. This is I keep saying it. I've been going on different streams, and it's I'll tell you, right before I launched, I went to see my wife, and I said, listen, we're going to go for 30 days, maybe 60, depending. I said, I put the goal at 5,000. I'm hoping by the end of this, we can hit somewhere between 30 and 40. If we can do that, this thing's a reality. Because you got to realize, like, I have 4 kids, a wife and a mother-in-law. So I support 7 people total. So when I say something that sounds like something super crackpot, like, yeah, I'm going to go do my comic for the next 6 months. They're like, but you used to draw comics. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to do it. So like I keep saying to her, we just got to hit this number. We got to hit this number. So my prayers were that we would hit somewhere between 30 and 40. And when we hit that in the first day, we hit 54,000 in the first day. I was completely blown away by the love and support from Comicsgate, and everybody, like, they just showed up, and it's been a delight. And every day is, like I said, I was on Vinny's stream and trying to recall some things from just 4 days ago, and it's all been a blur. It's been just fantastic.
That's how it is, man. The campaigning, especially now that everything's in quarantine. I don't even know what day it is.
Right.
So everything blurs together.
I have to look. It's Wednesday.
Yeah. And all these streams, like, I think you kind of like pioneered the streaming and letting people from the chat come into the stream.
Yeah.
That's actually how I met you, was you were streaming and then hopped into your chat, like, back in, before the new year.
It's so funny when I told some people, I'm like, why don't you let people in the chat? They're like, are you fucking crazy? Because they would go off the rails. But what's been great about CG people is as buck wild as they get in the chat, they're very, very cool when they get in the panel,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's how I think back in like December, I was the first time I went on or something like that with you.
Yeah.
And then now people are doing it. Like Cecil just had a huge stream with anybody that wanted to come on and promote their book could do so last night, and that was amazing.
I watched it. That Buick Starpoon really fucking blew my mind.
What do you think? What did you think of your boy's rap? Were you there for that nerd rap?
I missed it, but thank God he sent it to me. I thought it was cool, man. He put a lot of love and passion into that.
For sure,
You
man.
know,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of anybody that puts it all in.
Yeah.
I have a saying, I put it on the challenge coins, which is be and do your best. And you know what? If you are being your best and doing your best, that's admirable, and that's how you get to the level of excellence, is by
Yeah.
doing it every day.
For sure, man. And you could totally tell that you've been doing this every day, man, for the last number of years, because the cover is a straight example of that. Because this is your art in the background from the '90s,
Yeah,
um, and bursting through is the new art, the updated character designs, ripping through that old issue that was inked by Todd McFarlane. That's
that's right.
amazing. I think that's the perfect cover for this campaign, just
Oh, thank you.
blasting from the past into the modern day with your updated art, man. It's
It
awesome.
brings me joy, man. I dream a lot, a lot. I'm in my head a lot of the time, and you know, I imagine what this would look like as much as a year ago. I imagine what this would look like. And you know, going back to music video directors, I one of the directors that I worked with early on was this guy named, one at the time he was called Little X, and now he goes by Director X. But I asked him, because I get really inquisitive. I'm an inquisitive dude. I said, you know, what's your favorite part about directing music videos? And he was saying, you know, the fact that you get to put your imagination out there for everyone to see. And I said,
Yeah,
what's the hardest part for you? And he said, it's the compromise. You know, the compromise aspect of it, and a lot of times that comes with communication. A lot of times it comes through not having the budget for it. Now, why I bring that up is every now and then something surpasses your expectations, and this cover in particular was one of those ones where I came up with the concept of it. I want my characters now bursting through the old one. It's just a concept, much like the giant size X-Men, all new, you know, all
yeah,
new giant size X-Men. That's what I wanted. And then I thought, oh shit, I got way more characters. My character is much more detailed. What am I going to do? Uh, and then I just said, I'm going to jump in, and I did it. And originally I was supposed to have my good friend, still my good friend, Rob Liefeld, was going to be inking this new part. So
okay.
it was going to be McFarlane,
Hmm.
McFarlane Fraga, Liefeld Fraga, and it was going to happen. Rob's not. I wouldn't go as far as calling Rob anti CG, but he's not a CG supporter, and I understand that, and I respect it, because it, from the outside looking at us, sometimes there is an ignorance to what CG really is.
For
So he
sure.
backed out of the project. My original inker, wonderful guy, couldn't get on board. Again, I totally understand. But my homie Shelby was like, hell yeah, I'm down. He and I go together like peanut butter and jelly, or Oreos and milk. Every time he inks something, I feel like the artwork's elevated. And every time Matt Yackee colors something, he makes these characters. It's like Frankenstein's monster. Matt Yackee is the lightning, and they come
Yeah,
to life. And this cover, it brings me so much joy to see it, because it surpassed all of the expectations that I had for it.
yeah. It is. It's awesome, man. It's kick ass. It's straight up '90s, man. It
Thank
is
you.
high T, high
High tea.
octane
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
for
love the high
sure.
tea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. And I was just a great thing that you did with your newsletter and your pre-launch page is you let everybody that signed up for it have the old series for free. You sent
Yeah,
out a Dropbox PDF of that,
yeah.
which is cool. And
Yeah,
I know you've been posting that around as well.
yeah, basically, I want people to get on board. Because, you know, the thing that I've learned about CG is that a lot of these people, these are their first comics, and
Yeah,
I'm a stranger. It doesn't matter that I have 30 years as a comic book artist under me; that I'm a stranger to them. And Black Flag is new, and it may look cool, but how do they get invested in something they don't know about? So I thought, you know what? Here's the old series. Check it out. If you dig it, then come on in.
I
Uh,
actually have the link. You want me to drop it into the chat for people
Yeah,
who haven't done
please
it yet?
feel free, man.
Sweet.
Definitely. Let's go ahead and do that. There it is.
Yeah. So if you
Um,
guys go there, you could read the Black Flag series.
Yeah, so you guys download that, have it, connect right into this series. The last page of issue 4 leads right into this issue. You don't have to have read the old one if you don't feel like reading it. It'd be fun for you to do it. It's very, I don't want to say it's dated, but I remember I wrote that when I was 20 years old, and now I'm, a solid 40 years old, and
Oh yeah, what was that?
yeah, it's 40 something, and then
Oh, that's cool.
my internet's breaking up. But now I've got all of these experiences as a director and as a supervising director over at Mattel, taking all of these ideas and even better than that, I've got someone like Will Perdomo that still makes sense of my craziness. I have a lot of concepts and ideas, and he helps be the connective thread between these things and makes it even better. My team makes me look good. That's the way I put it. Yeah, see, there's the old one. That the colors are a little saturated on that, but
Yeah,
that
I think this one's a scan. This is different.
yeah, it's a
That'll
little
look better.
little saturated on that. But you get an idea. That's how I drew when I was 21 years old. Still a lot of detail. Man, I like Sniper's outfit there. I forgot about that pop collar look.
Yeah, this collar is pretty cool. I
Yeah,
love this how Raiden is just silhouetted, man. That's so cool in the
yeah,
background.
yeah,
That's
and we got the Granicotta gem transporting all of them.
yeah,
But
that's that the slide, right? Gem
yeah,
slide.
yeah, pretty
Teleport.
much. You can use the
Yeah.
gem slide to teleport. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they go in on Black Betty. You'll find out, or yeah, Big Black Betty. When you find out when in this issue why they've changed over the connection between Big Betty, Bamalam, and Geisha's outfit, we get to see a little bit of connection there. Not giving too many spoilers there, but they're trying new things that are going to culminate in the crescendo of the climax of the
Yeah.
cliffhanger that is the end of this issue. I don't give up too much story because I'm not a big fan, and this is other people's style, and I'm not saying I'm not a fan of their style. I'm saying for me, I don't like watching a movie trailer where I feel like I've seen the movie. You
Yeah, for
know,
sure. Mhm.
that's number one. Number two, if I was to watch the trailer for The Sixth Sense and the kid said, "I see dead people," and I'm sorry, guys, plug your ears if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense. But if they said, "I see dead people," and by the way, Bruce Willis is dead, like if somebody said that, I'd be like, "Oh, cool," and then the whole movie, I'd watch it under those eyes.
Yeah.
This is one of those kind of stories, and that's all I can tell you is it's it's M. Night Shyamalan, but better
Yeah.
uh, through this lens, and this is something I've been waiting to tell for a long time, and finally, my reach has not exceeded my imagination. They're right in alignment, and I get to execute the thing that I've wanted
Hell
to
yeah.
for all these years.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, even though I like this outfit here on Geisha, or the lack thereof,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I
she's fun.
like this outfit is
Oh well,
freaking
that see,
awesome
here's
too.
the thing: is that outfit there turns into that outfit. You'll see that it's very similar.
Ooh,
You'll
really?
see that it's very similar. You'll see that the colors and themes are very similar. That
She's the
armor,
best of both worlds, Hannah
yeah,
Montana style.
yeah. I'm too old for that, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Uh, Her armor becomes many things. It becomes a more fuller armor, including a motorcycle. That armor can also pop off, detach, become sentient on its own. It
Yeah.
becomes a sidekick. It's a prototype for something much bigger and larger that you'll see in this book. I don't want to give up too much, but this is her first time taking it into battle. But there's a really fun sequence that I'm really looking forward to drawing where the armor basically explodes off of her, not like a big boom, but like pops up off of her. You see her half naked body as the armor transforms up and around her and forms into a motorcycle. And she goes into battle with the motorcycle. Transforms out. We get to see both her and her sidekick. Yeah, that's her in motorcycle form. There it is. As you can see, take a look at the rims right there. You see the in the front rim on the front tire. Take a
Yeah.
look at that round nose. Look at that gear. Now take a look at her hip. on the other piece.
Let's see that.
There you go.
Yeah.
See that? That's
Cool.
that
Yeah.
same thing that ends up becoming the tire.
Yeah, I
And
heard you were talking probably like a month ago. You were super into the designs of the vehicles in this book. Like the vehicles are more characters on the team, basically. They have their own styles and really intricate designs.
yeah, yep,
Really
yep.
dig that.
And everybody has their unique story. The way these guys came together was kind of, I don't know if the word is selfish, but Neil Adams used to tell me when I would show him my stuff when I was a kid that, Willie Bill, plug your ears real quick. He said, "You look like all you're doing is jerking off while you're drawing." That's
Hmm.
what he said. Okay, and what he meant by that is I'm having too much fun. And when I designed Black Flag, I wanted to ensure that I was constantly having fun. So I like drawing big purple monkeys.
Yeah, for sure. That's what Dan likes. Dan's frozen for a second, though. But
Internet, little internet shake. What
yeah,
were you
there you go,
saying?
brother. You're good.
Yeah, and I like drawing magicians in capes and weird poses and stuff. So that I put them all in one book, and I came up with origins that made it all make sense, because that's what crazy people do. I mean, seriously, like, if have you ever heard a conspiracy theory from a crazy person?
Oh yeah.
Like, if you've ever hear them like lay it down, they find enough connected material that it all actually makes sense. And if they believe in that reality, it's so. So this is my craziness to justify having these characters together, and it just happens to work. That guy there, the gray bubblegum monster,
Yes.
coming out of the center of this sinkhole. What we're going to find out, not no spoilers or anything, we're going to find out in the first few pages that there's this sinkhole.
Yeah.
We're going to get a history of Dagger City. We're going to find out that Dagger City used to be a port for pirates. It was built upon this place because it had power, not unlike the Bermuda Triangle. There used to be ancient civilization that was built on top of that, and
Just a beautiful double page spread here.
a portal directly to hell underneath Dagger City, and that this thing is basically hell coming out on Earth and absorbing everything and anything in its path. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need any more than that. Just that pitch for the
yeah,
opening of it, that
yeah.
draws me in, man.
Well, that's
And this
just the
image
tip of the
too.
iceberg. The way I explain it is, this is one grain of sand on the beach that is Black Flag pineapple perception.
Yeah,
I look like I'm showing you all my cards, but I'm literally showing you my pinky nail.
yeah. It's a pretty pinky nail, brother, for
Thank you,
sure.
sir. Bazal.
No, this is awesome. And like when I was really getting into this and reading the old issues, I'm like, this is reminds me of the stuff I'm doing with the Lost Pages, where it's different heroes that are basically I came up with because I like these characters and get inspired by them, make them into new characters and throw them together. And it's like that, something like this I could really relate to, because you have these iconic moments in comics and characters that you get attached to, and you're like, this is what gets me excited. This is why I want to read comics, and this is why I want to create comics. And everybody could totally tell that Black Flag is that for you, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's everything. I always quote other great people because they inspire me. Guys like Todd McFarlane, Kevin Eastman.
Sure.
They say that you make the book for yourself. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And the best part is when you do that and you're making a book for yourself, it means so much more to you when other people dig it, you know? And then it turns into, okay, I'm going to keep making this because other people want to see it too. You know, it just makes it even better that they're excited about it, that they do fan art for you. It's the best feeling.
Oh man, if you guys haven't, if you're on Facebook, check out the Frega Boom Couch Doodles
Yeah.
appreciation page. It was started by Chat alumni Michael Green,
This
and
boy
there he
right here.
is. Yeah, we have a fan art contest where some of the most incredible artists are coming in and doing renditions of these characters that are so inspiring. Nothing like seeing your creations through other people's eyes. I know you got secrets, bro. I won't give your secrets away, but man, how rewarding is that feeling to see your characters drawn by somebody else?
Dude, insane.
Yeah.
Just with Magic Hop alone, just seeing the fan art, and then other artists come on to do like concept work and stuff and
Yeah.
pinups. But Lost Pages just takes it to the next level, man,
Yeah.
because we're hiring a bunch of awesome artists from Comicsgate and new friends.
I know a
And
guy. I know a guy that's gonna do something for you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I shave his head every now and then. I shave
that
his
sounds
head.
really weird.
I
And I
know.
hope you're talking about yourself.
I am. I am. There's nobody else in my
Oh,
house
brother.
whose head I shave.
For sure.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to talk about in
Yeah.
a panel of one of the old issues of Black Flag, and I'll pull it up right here.
Mm.
Is this panel?
Oh, you're
I
gonna ask about his fingers, aren't you?
was not going to ask about his
Oh, okay.
fingers.
Okay. Great.
Why?
Okay. No
No,
problem.
the fingers are fine, brother. I
Mm.
wanted to know how you got, if you did, the ability to put Mortal Kombat 2 and all these other games into your comic.
I did.
The
I
art.
did. I did not ask for permission. We put
So how
those
does
in there.
that? Did anything happen with that? Did Midway?
No, thank God. Thank God. No trouble. No harm. No foul.
Because
I
I
don't-
mean, these books sold in like the 70,000s, right?
Yeah, we did good. We did
Yeah,
good.
but
Yeah, I think, and here's the thing, that was not something I asked for. That was the color department. I said, you guys pop in some video game covers. Not, I thought they were going to create some because,
yeah,
I made up Mortal Dragon, which was like, Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball Z rolled into one,
yeah,
but yeah, they popped those in there. And, every now and then you see something goofball, like in the Black Flag Zero, there's a picture of John Claude Van Damme and me at this movie premiere, and one of the colorists, this guy Doug Griffin, photoshopped his head in the background, and I didn't even notice it till we went to print. It was one of those crazy things.
That's funny, man. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, guys, Black Flag, definitely check it out if you haven't already. And I guess we could watch the trailer too, which is a pretty cool trailer.
Oh yeah, have fun with that.
Black
And you got to teach me how to put volume on mine. So yeah, let's give it a watch.
All right, cool. So this should work. Let me know if you hear it, Dan.
All right, I'll give you thumbs up or thumbs down.
Let's see. Gotta raise the volume here.
I hear it. It's low, but I hear it.
One of the new talents at Extreme Studios is an artist.
Oh, you know what?
Dan Fraga. The 20-year-old lives in
Look at that hair.
On the Young Blood #0 series. He then became the penciler for the Bloodstrike series and now does much more. His latest project is called Black Flag, and Dan has dreamed up some very interesting characters.
One of those stories that have been in my head on and off ever since I was like a little kid. So what I wanted to do was put little kids, big giant gorillas, super fighters, armored women with motorcycles and stuff. I'm trying to put it all in here. And a little secret that I'm going to let people know is that the cover is going to be inked by my childhood hero, Todd McFarlane.
Big explosions.
Yeah. This trailer was made on your phone?
I made this entire trailer on my phone. Whoa, big sounds.
Yeah. All right. Can you believe it's been over 25
Who's
years
that guy?
since Black Flag has
I don't know. I shave his head though.
That's right. Black Flag is back, and I'm more excited now than I was when I created it. Why? Because I have chock-packed this comic book with all of the things I love. Intense action, gigantic guns, insane bullet count, sexy anime babes, cool kids, magicians, aliens, and a purple gorilla. That's right, Black Flag Pineapple Perception is coming to you from Incredible Comics, only here on Indiegogo. I want you guys to check out these crazy images below. I hope you enjoy what you see. Black Flag is gonna be insane. Frigaboom!
Nope. Nope. Forget the Frigaboom.
Frigaboom!
Frigaboom, people.
That's badass, brother.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun to make that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. No, campaign's doing great, man. Looking great.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait till you cross that 100K because I know you got some awesome more goodies
You
coming
want to see
from
me in the
your
bunny
booth.
suit, don't you? Be straight up, bro. Like, you don't have to hide. It's
Nah, I don't want
cool.
to see you in it until you fulfill. Maybe some streams. I think.
That's the fucked up thing. It's like I pretty much like if I commit to something, I'm like, I do it, and that's the other thing too. People will know, oh, this guy's gonna fulfill. He didn't want to wear that shit all the time,
Yeah, that's true.
you
No,
know.
that's a way to lock you in. Man.
Hopefully it'll be comfortable. That's like my main thing, and
Yeah.
I might end up having to get two because one will be in the wash. I don't want it to get like take me to Funky Town. Yeah.
No, I want to read those like origin stories, man. That Black Flag 0.5.
Dude, I
Man.
want to be able to tell them because in Black Flag Zero, we have Rascal, we have Geisha, we have Sniper, and that's really the only origins you get. And in Black Flag 1, you get a little bit of Gorilla's origin, but nobody knows anything about Raiden.
Dude,
Nobody,
I wanna read Raiden's, man.
yeah, Raiden is like the low key favorite. Like, and people been asking where's Spot, where's Raiden, and I have to tell you, this story is Spot and Raiden's story. As much as you see this thing, this is why you don't see them. And we'll be telling a little bit more about Spot, a little bit more about Bubble, and
Good.
that I'm excited. I'm excited and very hopeful that we'll be able to tell that story.
Dude,
I don't know if
excited.
your internet's low or if my
I think that might be yours, Dan. But man, yeah, that Raiden story, I want to hear it. I might want to write it, but I also want to hear it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
All you got to do, talk to Will. Will, here's the thing. Will and I, we're going to
Yeah.
be doing, this is the thing. Will is very serious about this. My brain is, it's very active, and what we decided, here we go. I've been spinning out. You know how you and I did that StreamYard thing where you helped me set up the pre-launch?
Yeah.
Well, what we've been doing is we've been setting up a Skype sort of situation where we have these story meetings and he records them.
Yeah.
And he basically freeze a boom. Yeah, I know. I think one of my kids is probably streaming. My older kid is streaming, and it fucks shit up. And I'm also on the wrong network. I created a private network, and this isn't on there. But he's been telling me that when you're not streaming, we need to go and lay down the Bible because everything's in my head. I call it tomato seed head, right?
Yeah.
And you go, what the fuck does that mean? But here's the thing that's interesting about a tomato seed. A tomato seed has the potential to take over the world. And why I say that is one tomato seed put in the earth, covered in dirt, poured in water, becomes a tomato plant, which seeds a bunch of more tomatoes with thousands of seeds, which become more plants, which become more tomatoes, which become more. So he goes and he gets into my little tomato seed head, and we work things out, and we make tomatoes. And he'll get you that. I mean, if Raiden is your cut, bro, then talk to him about it. We're building. If you want to sit in on a story session, we'll get together and powwow. You know I like you, man. So yeah, of course.
Awesome. Yeah. If you guys are just tuning in, this is the Zaid's Comments channel. We do these interviews all the time, usually once a week with creators. Hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. This is kind of like a series that right now the working title is Crossing the Borders, talking about getting into comics and creating these awesome comics you see here. And yeah, guys, check out Black Flag. He has awesome tiers you could look through. Very reasonable price for, is this going to be 48 pages? Yeah, 48-page graphic novel by Dan Fraga and a slew of awesome creators. Definitely get that ash can as well. That's the tier I got in at. And he's adding new tiers all the time. So check it out and get on this stuff, including some sweet add-ons. I know you have some awesome merch. So if you guys are into Black Flag, you can get awesome add-ons that you see right here. I think Dan is still frozen. Oh, he I see you, brother. He dropped out and he came back in.
I'm in the green room, and it gave me, I got kicked, And then I was like, I'm going to switch networks. So hopefully Frieza Boom is gone. Frieza
Yeah.
Boom got his ass kicked by.
I wasn't fast enough, or I could have had two of you in here at once.
That would have been weird. Time travel is a funky thing. Were you going through the perks? What were you doing?
Yeah, I was definitely talking about those and the add-ons as well.
I'm so excited about the add-ons, man. I was very fortunate to partner with a merchandiser. They had so much faith in me that they signed a 5-year contract with Incredible Comics.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, they're a
Congrats,
wonderful
man.
partner. Thank you. They. I mean, this is before the campaign even went. They believed in me. They believed in Incredible Comics and the crew. So we came up with these really fantastic ideas for things that were on brand. You know, I didn't want to do any like weird shit, you know, like panties or anything like that. Even panties would be dope, but like, you know, I'd have to take
We
them
made
off.
some for Magic Hop.
Did you really?
Yeah, my brother wants to sell them.
Oh, are you serious?
made-
I
we
didn't
ma-
even mean to go that way, dude. Ah, that's fun.
We made them ourselves, though. It's funny. So if you guys want them, let us know. Hit me up. We have a Etsy shop also. If you check out Zaid Workshop on Etsy, you can get some awesome T-shirts from there.
I'll have to check those out, man.
Yeah.
Matt Yackey's in the house. That's cool. Matt Yackey is the colorist of Black Flag.
Yeah, I like to call him the Yak. I don't know how he feels about that, but I enjoy it.
I call him. I never say Matt, and I never say Yackey. I always call him Matt Yackey. It's always his full name. I go, "How you doing, Matt Yackey?" It's never, "Hey, Matt, how you doing?" But you know, Matt's in the house. That's good.
Yeah. Sure.
I feel great. Oh, Poon, we're back in the Poon zone. That guy was crazy.
He was crazy, man, for sure. I wanted to talk about this pretty big tier, the Mind Blown tier. Let's talk about that one because I'm excited about that one. I'm excited for that last person to get that.
Yeah, it is. It was a tier that was kind of done on a whim. I didn't know if it would do well. And I know there's going to be a heavy body count in this first issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what if I kill somebody that wants to be killed? Like they can have their mind blown. Like one of them is to have their brains blown out. You know, you can get choked out. You can get a piano dropped on you. There will not be geisha sitting on your face. None of that. No gorilla farts killing you. But you can get killed. And I know, I'm sorry, man. Dreams shattered. But you can get killed in the book. I will draw your likeness into the book with you getting killed, which is really going to be a lot of fun for anybody that wants that. They'll be immortalized in a comic forever.
That's awesome, man. I love those things. We're definitely going to do something like that in the Lost Pages as well.
Excellent.
We're going to do some drawings now that we're working with an awesome team. It's going to be super fun. But yeah, brother, if you don't mind now, if I could talk about the books I'm coming out with and we could wrap
Absolutely. This up. I thought you were going to ask me to freestyle. I was like, oh, okay.
No,
but yeah, no, go ahead. Go. Let's check out Magic Cop, which I just backed, by the way. Here, yes. I've been like a big supporter of Magic Cop and was like, yeah, I love Magic Cop because I love, I mean, here we go. Bro, no homo. I love you, Phil. I love you. You know, you've been coming on the show for the past 6 months and stuff, and I'm like, yo, you guys got to check out Phil. You got to check, and then there's that tab in Indiegogo, like campaigns that you've supported, and I'm like, shit, Phil's not on there. What the fuck? I recognized that last night. I was like watching Cecil's stream, and I'm like, yo, I gotta support this book. Cool. Oh, Phil's on there. Cool. I got his book, and then I'm like, no, I don't. So yeah, I'm really stoked. Talk about Magic Cop, dude. Tell us.
Thank you so much for backing, man. We're gonna
of course
ship those books out this week, probably tomorrow. But we got a big influx from Cecil's stream last night. We were under 11K, and we needed one more to get over to 11K, and it just shot up, as you could see, which was
congrats,
so
man.
Cool. Yeah, thank you everybody for the supports. It's still in demand. Everybody can still get it. We're shipping out every day. We just went to the post office and shipped a bunch out today, and we'll be doing that more so if people want it. You got the featured tier, the signed book and Ashcan, which
How'd
I think
you
is
know that? How'd you
well.
know that?
I just doxed your
Yeah,
info.
I did. And of course, I got featured, man. I
Yeah.
needed that shit in my life.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I have them right here. I would say that's the best thing for your buck because you get the Ashcan, you get the book, 92 pages. I think this is 38 pages of behind the scenes action of how we came up with everything. It's got a short comic in there as well and concepts as well as some sick fan art like we were talking about earlier. I know you're a big fan of Sim, so we got some Sim fan art right there.
I love Sim. He's a
Yeah,
good dude. My favorite Puerto Rican.
Yeah, man, he's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Wait, what about your wife, bro?
No. Here's the joke. She's my favorite Puerto Rican,
Oh, okay.
and if I don't say that, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'm trying to protect you there.
Sim is from Quebec, Canada.
French
And
Canadian.
yeah, he's got an accent, and he said everybody thinks I'm Puerto Rican.
It's true.
So now my riff is to tell everybody that he's my favorite Puerto Rican, even though he's Canadian and not Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he gets that a lot. Yeah, hail everybody in the chat who has already gotten and backed Magic Cop. I know there's a lot of you in here that have, but this is just our first book, still in demand. You guys could get it, but the thing that we're really excited about now is the Lost Pages. This is going to be huge. It is kind of like I was saying, how it has the relations to Black Flag. It's got a bunch of different characters from different walks of life, sometimes different times, different eras, and exploring different genres of comic book storytelling. And not so different from how Dan was doing these characters back in the 90s. I actually created and published the silhouette almost 10 years ago now. I have the concept sheets of my brother's drawing of him, and it says he was created in like 2011. And we published some small run issues, took him to like Wizard World conventions, and then took a break. Life got in the way, went to college and stuff, and now he is back leading the charge in the Lost Pages and looking more badass than ever.
I believe I'm going to draw a trading card with him, aren't I?
You're doing Crimstone, brother.
Crimstone, that's right.
Yeah.
My bad. Crimstone is badass, dude.
The 90s mental muscle monster.
Yeah, there
man.
we go.
I'm so excited.
I'm even more excited now. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember I was telling you, and you're like, "Yeah, that's the one I wanted," because that's
right.
The 90s one.
That's
so
my cut.
If you guys, or you're just a fan of comics, there's something in here for you. We have the 90s covered. We have like the 60s pulp hero with the Masquerade covered. If you guys are into more magical stuff, like Dan's character Raiden, this character Wildcard. He's an ancient sorcerer from Merlin times, and uses magic and is in different time periods. And then this time he's a pirate on the high seas in the height of piracy, battling sirens. And then of course the supernatural vigilante that is the silhouette. So get on this mailing list. I'll drop the link in the chat. It's also down below in the description. And if you do get on the mailing list and back the book, then you will be able to get a free trading card. We're really going in on these trading cards, welcoming a bunch of awesome artists in to work with us and show off what we could do with these characters. Because I'm kind of obsessed with seeing other people draw these characters, the different.
It's a good feeling, man. It makes them live and breathe.
So I just posted this picture up today. It's the layout of the trading card that you guys are going to get if you sign up for the campaign and back. It's going to be a jam trading card. So there's going to be art on here by each of the artists, and this is the layout kind of taken from like that old X-Men trading card style where it's more of a horizontal piece. And each of the artists are going to draw their own character there. So you're going to get art from all the guys. So we're working on that as we speak. So yeah, check it out. And thank you so much, Dan, again, for coming on. Guys, go back Black Flag. Get him to 100K already so we can see that pink bunny suit.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
and
if you guys...
Where are we at? Can you do a refresh? Because I want to see how close we are. I'm really excited about swaying John Malin to think that bacon is better than ham.
He thinks that's wrong?
He thinks that ham is better than bacon.
Oh my god.
And so, yeah, look at that, man. We're 18 away. We're 18 backers away from
Yes.
pork extravaganza. We're going to have ham, bacon. We're going to have British bacon. We're going to have sausages. We're going to try to get some pork jowl, but we're going to have pork extravaganza. I'm really
Yeah, I'm gonna have
stoked
to go
about it.
out and get some bacon, put on my gas mask, bundle up, and get some
Yeah,
bacon.
that's how we're going to do it. And I'm going to let people know in advance, because when we do it, I'm going to make a deal out of it. We're going to have the bacon, enjoy the bacon all together, and celebrate 1,000 backers together.
Yeah.
Hail Adam Post.
Hail Adam Post, the postman.
Prosciutto,
Oh,
what a great idea. Pond mower, I'm going to add prosciutto to the mix. Prosciutto is fantastic, man. It's good stuff. I put it on my pizza. I like prosciutto omelet. Really good. Salty.
Dude, I love pineapple on pizza as well, brother. I heard you
Amen.
talking about that.
Yeah. Donald is wrong.
He's got it wrong. He's got
He's
it wrong.
totally wrong.
Yeah, for sure. And 90s comics coming back. I wore my Lobo shirt in honor of the Black Flag, the 90s era. So back this book, guys. Once again, if you haven't liked, subscribe, all that things, and head over to Couch Doodles on YouTube. That is Dan's YouTube channel. Hit him up with a sub as well.
Please do. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. My show is about creativity. The main thing we talk about is empowerment of creativity, being able to create, manifest your ideas out of your mind. I have interviews with guys like McFarlane, Liefeld, Neil Adams, Mike Mignola, Mark Bagley, Dennis Cowan, whole other bunch of guests. I talk to them about what it's like to create, and I hope that you guys are creating as well. Be and do your best is what I have to say.
Hell yeah, brother. Hail everybody in the chat. Hail Comicsgate. Thank you for joining again. And we will see you throughout the week with more videos, and next week with another stream.